Thank you, Kevin. I'm Gabe, and I'm one of the founders of Origin. I started Origin for her, my big sister, Rachel. Rachel is a speech language pathologist, and earlier last year, she actually came to me with a crazy idea. She wanted my help with my business background to launch her very own private speech therapy practice. So we did that. We stayed up late, her in Raleigh, me in another city across the US, late night on Zoom, building out her practice and going through the steps, whether that was setting up her LLC, her liability insurance, business license, EMR, bank account, HIPAA compliant Google Workspace. And in that process, I saw firsthand two things. First is how hard it is for a therapist to actually launch their practice when the thing they love, the thing they give that gives them energy is focusing on the therapy. And the second thing too is I saw the quality of life change that my sister had. She started with her practice earning 50% more and simultaneously working 50% less by being her own practice owner. I saw this firsthand and decided to replicate that for other therapists beyond just my sister. For some context, childhood development in the US is a massive issue. As I'm sure all of you guys know, some of the stats that we're seeing today are that 1 in 4 kids post COVID are facing developmental challenges, which by some estimates that we're seeing can represent about a $40 billion problem today in the US alone. And for those 1 in 4 kids, ask any parent, ask any doctor, what they will tell you is that the best way to treat them, the best way is therapy in their own home. It's more effective for kids and it's more convenient for families as well. The other options just fall short. Telehealth works great for adults with mental health concerns. As I'm sure a lot of you have seen, it does not work well for young children with developmental challenges. Office visits are inconvenient for family. The schools are underfunded. It's simply slammed. The other options just fall short. But the catch, even though in-home therapy is the gold standard, is the best, it's never been possible at scale. That's because of the economics on the provider side. And this is what I saw firsthand with my sister. It just takes an inordinate number of unpaid administrative hours to run an in-home private practice. Between notes, billing, insurance checks, and then adding on schedule coordination and travel, therapists can easily spend 15 to 25 unpaid admin hours per week. What happens is that scale tips with the number of unpaid hours, and ultimately the hourly rates no longer make sense going into the home. This is the key friction that we've identified, and this is what we're solving with Origin. We're Origin. We help pediatric therapists launch their own private practices that for the first time are economically viable going into the homes. And how we do that is with AI. We make in-home therapy economically viable with an army of AI agents automating every aspect of the back office, from notes to scheduling to billing, in order to half the amount of time therapists are spending on back office work and effectively doubling their hourly rates, which can finally tip that scale back to where the economics actually make sense going home. I know this is a great thesis. This sounds great in theory, but we're actually seeing this in reality. Since we launched in June in one targeted area in Northern Virginia, we've been doubling every month, 8xing in the last couple of months, and are excited to announce that we officially closed on a fundraising round, which is getting announced on Monday. We started incredibly niche down, launching speech therapy practices in the DC suburbs of Northern Virginia, but this is just the beginning. We plan to expand into occupational and physical therapy with this new round, and additionally expand geographically our scope to power the future of pediatric health. So I ask for you, as we've closed this round, we're hiring. Please email me, connect with us on LinkedIn. We're hiring for a founding engineer and a founding operations lead based in San Francisco. If you know of people that you think might be interested, I'd welcome introductions. Thanks so much.
Great job, Gabe. Way to close us out strong. Lauren, questions.
Great job, Gabe. And I know a lot of building has gone into it, and there's much more to come, but you've done such an incredible job. I guess my question for you is, how have you thought about kind of working with existing EMRs? I know this is for individual therapist practices, but um, is that something you're kind of running up against that you see kind of just building separately outside of those? Or I guess where do those kind of fit into your plan?
Great question. One of the decisions we had to make early on was how we wanted to handle the EMR system. Um, Philosophically, how we think about product is coming back to our North Star of my relationship with my sister. What my sister wanted was to focus on the therapy, and she didn't want to deal with anything else. So our North Star is being everything but the therapy for therapists. And as part of that, which is a fun job, by the way, as a startup, doing everything for these back offices. As part of that, we've built the belief that it is important for us to build our own EMR. And so as part of that, that's leading to the founding engineer hire as well. We'd be building our own uh, EMR to actually be the best in class in this space.
Great. Thank you.
It's great. Really well done, Gabe. And I know we can't talk about the traction, but just seeing it has been unreal. Like I've been excited to just watch how fast this thing has grown. Um, I think you mentioned it at the end, but it seems like what's the growth potential for this? There's all sorts of other sort of occupations you can go into with this. Like, yeah, share a little bit more about that.
Totally. Um, so we started, as I mentioned, incredibly niche down. We have 20 speech therapy practices that we've launched in Northern Virginia, but we're seeing such a high degree of overlap and comorbidity between these for these kiddos. So, for instance, about 40% of our kids that need speech also need occupational and physical therapy. And so we're constantly getting referrals across the therapist spectrum as well. And so there's a clear path to adding occupational and physical therapy within this market and actually serving the same patients who have the same needs with other kinds of treatments.
Wow, that's cool. Yeah, it does. It just seems like there's so much opportunity here. Um, awesome. Very well done, Gabe. Good job.